Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to fix broken makeup. Now as you can see right here, there is some broken makeup and I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily fix it. So the first thing that you are going to do is use a spoon to break up any big pieces into smaller pieces. So you can see that the majority of the broken makeup is in small pieces, but there are some big pieces. So I'm just going to use this spoon to break up the bigger pieces into smaller pieces. Alright, now that I have broken up the makeup into small pieces, I can add in some rubbing alcohol. So I have some rubbing alcohol right here, and I am going to simply add it into the makeup in small amounts because you can always add more rubbing alcohol to the makeup if you didn't put enough in, but you definitely cannot remove any rubbing alcohol once you have already poured it in. So I'm just going to empty some rubbing alcohol into the cap of the container and just pour it in just like that. And once I have poured it in, I'm going to use the spoon to just swirl it around. And the goal is to turn the makeup into sort of a paste. And what will happen is once you have the makeup as a paste, you can then flatten it out and make it, turn it into one large piece of makeup again. And then the rubbing alcohol will actually evaporate and dry out. So that is, the purpose of this. So I'm just going to continue adding more in and mixing it around until it is basically a paste. So now that the makeup is pretty much like a paste, I am going to use the spoon to flatten it out and turn it into one large piece. Now this is definitely easier if you have more makeup in the case, but you can always do it regardless of the amount of makeup that you have left. It's just a bit harder if you don't have as much makeup because you have to make a thinner layer of the paste. So I'm just going to work the paste around the case until I have created one thin layer around the entire portion of the case. So now that I have smoothed out all of the makeup to make it to turn it into one layer, the next thing that I have to do is simply allow it to dry. Now the drying time will absolutely vary depending on the amount of rubbing alcohol that you added to the makeup, but you can just keep an eye on it and give it enough time to dry. Now I added quite a bit of rubbing alcohol to this, so I'm going to leave it overnight. But if you only added a little bit of rubbing alcohol to it, then you might be able to leave it for an hour or 2 hours or even 3 hours, and that will be more than enough time for the makeup to dry out and for the rubbing alcohol to evaporate. So I'm going to leave this overnight and I will be back tomorrow morning to show you what it looks like once the rubbing alcohol has evaporated and the makeup has dried out. Okay, so I have let the makeup dry overnight, and as you can see, all of the rubbing alcohol evaporated, and I have basically fixed the broken makeup. And the process was really simple. All that I did was break up the makeup even more into really small pieces. Then I added some rubbing alcohol to the broken makeup and used a spoon to turn it into a paste and smooth it out into one flat piece. And then I basically let the makeup dry and the rubbing alcohol evaporate. And the process is literally that simple. If you follow the instructions in this video, you will definitely be able to do this yourself. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.